everybody, and welcome back to the channel with me, Admiral Pegasus. And today is arc review. Yes, I'm actually going to do it just before the arc actually finishes. And yes, I know I've got the research on the tree because I was literally just going through my research tree about what I've got left to do, and in terms of material free research. And there is a couple of areas I've still got to sort out. So if we just have a quick gander before we jump into it, so you also get to see my progression and where I am in terms of research. So if I just put my mic in the correct place. So as you can see on screen at the minute, I've got a few that I need to do. Don't worry too much about the primes, because I will finally gain access to being able to do them once I go into the 40s. But I'm in no rush to get there. So as you can see, I've got some left to do, and to be honest, it's not too bad. Some of it, obviously the battleship one's the worst. I really do need to get that up. And then obviously this is the higher grade ones, where this one is going to be the one I really want to do. But again, it's 24 days and it's going to use also, but all it is power steel, titanium and dilithium for components. It's not materials, whereas I really want to focus on making sure I knock the materials down as much as I can before I go into the 40s. Obviously my plan is to get all the research done, but the ones that do require materials I will be working on in the Jellyfish Pursuit event in July or August, depends on which one I go for. And it depends on how much I have in materials. But speaking of materials, how has this month been for you in terms of payouts? For me, I've noticed this month is rather focused on gas and dilithium. Now that has been absolutely brilliant for my dilithium reserves, because if you actually look in the top on the right, just next to platinum, I'm at 647.9 million. So this has been really nice, and I've got about 190 million in tokens as well. So this month has been a decent payout for dilithium for me, and also with gas, because it means now that my enterprise can go to tier 5 by the end of the calendar month itself, not the end of the arc, which is tomorrow. In what, let's have 19 and a half hours, is it? Yeah, 19 hours and 23 minutes the arc finishes. Monday the 25th it's going to finish. And yeah, so by the end of this month my enterprise will be able to go to tier 5, but I won't be sending it there because I can do that as part of the Jellyfish Pursuit event when I come round to doing it. But this is the end of the arc. It's the end of part 1. It's wrapping up. To wrap it up, as the Battle Pass event, it's clear the coast. So go get your Stellars out, go smash those Eclipse Armadas or just the transports. I'll be doing mine tomorrow because I want to let everyone fight over them tonight. But this month has also seen the introduction of some new officers, in the terms of that lady over there, Mariner, Bulmer and Badgie. And we'll have a quick look, because the only one I've been able to get so far is actually Badgie, because he was easily sourced through the Battle Pass and through varying other events as well. So let's just scroll all the way down to the bottom, shall we? Because that's where they're going to be, with them being new officers. Oh dear, my phone's falling. Tried sticking it down to see if it would actually stay, but looks like it's not going to stick properly. There we go. So as you can see, I'll move my camera slightly out of the way. There we go. So over there we got Badgie. He's a new officer. I'm already 13 shards into getting the new officer. And then right next to me is Mariner and Brad Bulmer. So let's go in and have a quick look at these officers, shall we? So all three of these are unfit to command. These are purely below decks. You can stick them as an officer on the bridge, because they do have officer abilities. As Badgie here has got murder, decreasing your opponent's mitigation by 5%, which yeah, alright then, whatever. But it is an uncommon officer, so really what do we expect? But his real ability is actually placing on on the low deck, and it's going to, haha, you're going to die, where it increases your mitigation by 13%. Again, not much of an improvement, but it is a tier 1 and it is an uncommon. So, but that's Badgie for you. So I've got Badgie, and then next up we've got Brad Bulmer. Again, an aspiring captain, joined the Red Shirt squad or something like that on Cerritos in season 2. Became a real snob until the end of the episode, where he actually brought himself back down to earth with a bump, showed his inspiration in leadership, and took control of the situation better than what the Red Squad do, and it actually caused that group to split up because of what he did. Real inspirational episode for those who think that they can command. Look at this officer, is a bit of a goof troop, is a bit of an F up, but his heart's in the right place. And obviously, so his bridge action is increasing your mitigation by 30%, which is pretty good for a rare officer at tier 1. Still not out of the box brilliant, but not too bad. But his below deck is obviously increases your maneuverability, armor and shield deflection. Hang on, is that mitigation still? Yeah, I think it is. Again, by an extra 45%. So when that adds up, that's actually quite a decent thing. Yeah, I don't have him, so I don't know really much about it, and I've never really traipsed into looking into officers properly, which is something I will be doing shortly. So before I actually go off the screen, next up we'll look at the Epic Mariner. Again, not officer material, especially from the series. Increases attack of all officers by 5%. Blah. That's not really an awful lot. But then again, if there's something like, I don't know, 10,000, 5% is 500. Yeah, maybe, might be worth it. But you never know. Winging it, again, increasing the ship's weapon damage by 40%. So that's the probably one I would end up using. Increasing my weapon damage, because anything to increase weapon damage is a thumbs up. So they're the 3 officers that we've got. How they will fare in the as the game goes on, I don't know. Sourcing again is going to be another issue, but we'll see how that comes. But anyway, so as I was saying, the events have been focused around gas and dilithium, and it was good to see the fact that we did have the 9 days of ticket events, and of course we're on the final 3 events, and as you can see, these are the final 3. Fleet development, which is kill armadas or help your alliance with contributions or helps. So, and obviously armadas is an alliance based event that you can do anytime you like with your alliance, so you help each other out. Oh god, so sorry, I'm so tired. It's been a very busy day. And so yeah, so that's a helping one. And then you've got your mining crystal, and then you've got your swarm attack, which is basically go out and shoot hostiles, and you get extra points for the worms or swarm. Obviously I'm doing the end one. That's the one I'm doing. I only get my tickets through the battle pass, so which means I only get to do 1 of these per day. So which means I'll get 9 free tickets. I get 9 events to do. Woohoo! If I want to do more, moolah. Yeah, not doing that. So that's the ticket events, and to me the reward payouts have also seemed a little bit low this month, in the terms of uncommon, because I'm sure we've been getting to like 30 plus uncommon in previous ones. This one is only 27, but I don't know. It's something that maybe DJ has been keeping an eye on. He might be able to tell you with facts and figures and everything, because he loves maths in the game. Also, the events that we've been having, art-based ones, have been centered around the lower decks, which is what it should be. And I've noticed that they are all pretty much 48-hour events, so which gives you plenty of time to do those events. And this is one of the events that we've been getting, is duty shifts. And as you can see, dilithium and gas orientated. But also, when you reach that top one, you get this extra token, which allows you to go get an avatar, and we'll show you the avatars in just a minute. But as you can see, 17 uncommon, 9 rare, and then 1 million, 3 million in token and 3 million in raw dilithium. So this is what I mean. It's been fairly good payouts in terms of gas and dilithium. Oh my god. Ooh. Tiredness is really creeping up on me today. And so, but like I said, they've all been based around 48 hours to complete, with the exception of your normal battle pass events, the cosmic cleanup over there, the Amad hunt, which is obviously a normal 48-hour event. So yeah, there was also another brilliant event earlier on in the month, and it was only done the once. Again, it was a 48-hour, and it was called Red Alarm. And the payouts on that, it was steel and ore, if I remember correctly. I mean, feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. Also, smash the like button, hit subscribe as well. Let's not forget to throw them in as well. But the Red Alarm, that was one of the best payouts I've seen for an event. It was one of the best. And to be honest, I would like the events to carry on in that kind of a format of payouts, because that really does help the free-to-play players get some sort of progression up the ladder. You're still going to get your players who want to go spend money and everything to progress faster, but to help the free-to-players progress, say even if it takes instead of them taking a year to do something, they'll take 10 or 11 months to do something, to do the same thing. What's the harm in giving them that extra boost to take those 2 months off it? Me, I don't see a problem with that. Not really going to cut into the red line of Scopely, is it? But anyway, we said we're going to mention the... I'm going to show the avatars you can get. And we got a total of 6. So here's your first 4. It's Red Shirt Bulmer. And there was also the Gold Miles O'Brien. That's the one I purchased, because obviously I do like Miles O'Brien character from Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. Fantastic character, dedicated engineer, shows what it's really all about actually, putting the effort in, but also being able to relax, have fun, going out, fighting a battle Britain. Good on you, Miles. But yeah, so he was another avatar, and then also you got Ransom Floating Head, which is from season 2 episode 1, when Commander Ransom, for those who know the series, was given godlike powers. Villain Mariner, again, she's another season 2 one. Romdar, he's another season 2 one. And Lieutenant Matt, again, another season 2 one. And to be honest, Redshirt Bomber is a season 2 one as well. They're all season 2. So for those who haven't seen it, I do encourage you to go check it out. I started off with this event though, not knowing diddly squat. The last I knew about it was a bit like Rick and Morty. It was, just over the top. Literally so over the top, it was unreal. But after doing the first round of the lieutenant's exam, which I'll get into in a moment, I decided I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch it, and to be honest, I actually watched it all. I got past the first 10 minutes of the first episode and actually started seeing what it's more about, and to be honest, I'm not going to rate it as one of my best series. It's something you can have a laugh at, but the problem is, it's not an atypical Starfleet vessel. Literally not. I mean, I don't know a Starfleet captain who would dare in fact, I don't even know a lower deck who would dare challenge the captain the way Mariner does, whether they're related or not. But that's by the by. So it is a good series. I do recommend you go watch it. Any dedicated Star Trek fan will actually go watch it regardless, and even if it's not the best, it's not my best, I will still probably sit there and watch it again. At the minute, I am really enjoying Star Trek Picard Season 2, so that's my focus at the minute. But anyway, so that's the arc events, and that was the avatars we get from the duty shift. So like I said, there was Red Alarm, and there was varying other arc-based events which were paying out as well. On a rare occasion, there was titanium and crystal, there was steel and ore, but it was primarily gas and dilithium focused. So next up is the missions. Now, this month has been, my God, if you compare it to a Michelin, or a top chef who's received the Michelin award multiple times, mwah, that's how good the missions were. The payouts weren't so good, but then again, it is ops based, so it's not surprising. But the writing was, it was impeccable. I got to know the characters from the very first mission before I actually watched the TV show, and I got their personalities, I got the goofiness out of it, and the way they generally are towards their captain. I got it from the missions in this game. And also, tied in with that is the lieutenant's exam, because obviously the questions were based on each season. The first 10 questions were season 1, the second 10 questions were season 2. But what I soon came to realise with is when I watched the TV series, how the characters in this game were written exactly like the characters in the actual show. They was that good. The dialogue was that good. I can't fault it this month. It's been fantastic. And the problem is it's now set a really high bar for next month when we get part 2. If we get part 2, of course we're going to get a part 2. So anyone who thinks that we're not going to get a part 2, please. Really? We've got 3 officers. We're still missing Rutherford, Tendy, Captain Freeman, Commander Ransom, Lieutenant Shax, Lieutenant Matt, since he's got a thing in Avatar. I'm presuming he might be thrown in. And I've got a funny feeling they might even throw in Commander Riker from the Titan. His character was, to me, his character was literally more than larger than life. It was written over the top for Riker, literally. That was not the Commander Riker I remember from the Enterprise, literally. And that's the downside, one of the downsides for that series for me, is Commander Riker was not written the right way for me. But it was meant to be a goof-off spin-off show, just to try and get some people into Star Trek, but hey-ho. But the Lieutenant's exam, the first week, I got the answers off Rev Juice's video, and I just went through it that way. The second week of questions, I attempted it myself before watching any other videos, and some of the questions I did go through all 4 answers before I actually got the right one. But one thing as I noticed with the Lieutenant's exam is one question was literally 1 episode. It was about 1 episode, and it carried on through all 20 questions both seasons. So that was good to see for me, the fact that I'd done the exam and then I was watching it thinking, hang on, that means question so-and-so, that means question so-and-so. Oh, that's good. And I like the way they'd done that. It was brilliant. But I do like those kind of events as well, where you do have to fly around here, there, mine this, destroy that, spend this, spend that. As answering general questions about Star Trek. Or doing something when it originally came out as Scrambled Communications during the TOS arc. That was fantastic, because you had to use your brain. It was more than just, oh, I've got to go blow up all these ships, or I've got to go mine all this. It wasn't mind-numbing. It gave your mind something to think about. And I think that is a good way forward for events. But that's for another video. That's for another time. We can discuss that. But yeah, so the the Lieutenant's exam was brilliant, and it also helped me know the episodes before I actually sat down and watched them. And the missions, again, yeah, what a bunch of misfits the crew was, and I got that straight from day one. But I finally watched both seasons. Kind of gobsmacked how that the captain was arrested and she was walked away. A Starfleet officer was marched away in irons. And if you remember an episode of Deep Space Nine where Sloane was first introduced to us, Investigator Sloane was introduced to us, trying to pin something on Dr. Bashir. They marched him down the promenade in irons, and Benjamin Sisko came over and says, "You do not do that to a Starfleet officer. You do not march him out in public in irons." And to be honest, they also did that with that last episode. How they're going to connect Captain Freeman to the destruction of the Packard homeworld, I do not know. But something obviously happened, and I've got a funny feeling it's something to do with Romdar, considering how much time he spent on the Cerritos. But anyway, so that's the main part of the arc. Now, also this month we was also thrown in some a mini improvements, a mini buff, and that was also for the Cerritos. Now, I don't have the Cerritos herself, but I can call up her details. As we all know, we can all do this. I mean, I know it's pretty simple. Yes, she is an explorer. She is a G4 ship. She is a G4 epic, so you're getting her well before level 60. But this is the Cerritos, and above me is her ability, is support. Supports other ships, vastly improving their combat performance based on their Cerritos research, which you can find in the Starships tree in your research tab. I haven't done any because you do need to actually have the Cerritos before you can actually start that research, because you need certain amounts. And as you can see, I've already got 50 blueprints for it already. That's because of the battle pass on the epic track. So yes, I've already spent 20 quid on the battle pass, and I've got my first 50 blueprints. The next 50 blueprints I will get for free because I will do it. And that starts on Wednesday the 4th of May. So I would say what it normally is. Oh, I tell you what, doesn't matter, it's cross science fiction. May the 4th be with you. Yes, a geeky moment. So what? Sue me. I don't care. But yeah, so Wednesday the 4th of May is when we're going to see an event come out called, I believe it's going to be called the California class, where you can actually go get the blueprints for this ship. Now, to me, and we'll bring the full screen up on this one, it's not a bad looking ship. I mean, to me, it's like this section here between the warp nacelles. Why put that there? I mean, to me, when the designers originally designed the Cerritos for the TV show, why did they put that there? It doesn't make any sense to me. Literally, I've not seen a Federation starship with an actual section between its warp nacelles. Because it means then the crew have got to find a way down these pylons through the nacelle just to get to that section. But everything happens up here in this big saucer, which is literally, it's a saucer. Full-blown, original style saucer. I mean, yeah. I really don't know. I mean, she's not a bad-looking ship, to be perfectly honest with you. But yeah, that mid section between the cells, I just don't understand it. And why are the nacelles so far away from the hull? Even the Oberth class starship's nacelles were sat right on its hull. The Intrepid class from Star Trek Enterprise, the nacelles were literally sat just above the hull. The Nebula class starship, its nacelles were just sat just off the Star Trek section. The Miranda class, its warp pylons weren't as big as these things. And these should be top of the line nacelles, which means they should be very well protected and protecting the crew from radiation. So why they're that far away, I do not know. But it is what it is. It is the Cerritos. It is the ship we were given. And so far from what I've seen from people using it, and my admiral's supported me a couple of times, I mean, we ran a couple of tests. I mean, he said it improves his miner's abilities too. We tried it with mine, had no effect, but he swears he saw it with his miners. I don't know whether it was a glitch he saw or whether it does actually happen. So check it out yourselves. If you've got the Cerritos, try it on your miners. Does it work? If it does, comment below. Let me know. Let me know he's not the only one who saw this. But obviously it didn't work when he tried to support me with it. And but what we did notice while trying it is if you try and support a miner while it's on the node, you cannot support it. Your ship has to be... The miner you're trying to support needs to be off the node first, get supported, back on the node. But then again, it still doesn't improve the mining buff. But its description does say it's combat buff. And it was given a buff increase middle of the arc with a patch 41.1 notes. So we did get that. Also, there's a notification now in your alliance chats to say that you're going to get a notification when somebody joins your alliance, woohoo, and when somebody leaves your alliance, traitor. So, which means I can't escape without being noticed now. So, and I had a bit of a disagreement with a couple of my command staff in regards to rescue the crew, because I went and blew up some player ships with the purple hearts and the purple hands, and I didn't message them beforehand. I just went and blew them up because it was in the active PvP system, and to me, if you're in that system, you agree to participate in PvP, but you've got the option to run. I got killed a few times by some players because I didn't see them there because I was offline. I sent my ships and I left them, knowing full well there's a good chance they would get blown up, and I didn't cry. But then again, fair play to everyone I did actually hit, because they never messaged me complaining that I'd hit them. They obviously understood it was a PvP system. At the time, I only hit them during PvP time, in the PvP system, during a PvP active event. So yes, I'm just stressing it was a PvP active event where I actually killed them, so they have no qualms to complain. But this is a war game. This is supposed to be a war game. So that's taken me massively off course, hasn't it? Woohoo! What done it again. But yeah, so the Cerritos, good little ship, nice little improvement in the month. Also, so as well, players entering, leaving, you'll now note in your alliance tab. Also, we was also, for everyone Ops 31 and above, we were treated to a new visual, a new thing. Something we'd never seen before, unless we got a specific ship. When the lag catches up. The Amalgam tab. We can now see the Amalgam refinery. However, there is a downside to this, and I haven't checked out all the content creators on regards to this yet, but I've not seen it mentioned. Maybe it has been mentioned in live streams and I've not caught it. I don't know. Or the podcast with DJ. But in my refinery, yes, I can go for the shards, I can go for the projectiles, I can even go for the Amalgam's cloaking device. The problem is I don't have any of what's needed to get them, which is these ship skin shard trackers. I don't have any, so which means I can't get any of this, which is a big bummer for me, because I need to be able to refine. Now, I've got the plundered loot. Yes, so when this came up, I thought, oh, brilliant, I can do this. And then when I found out I can't refine any plundered loot at the minute, I went to the recruit section. There was nothing in there for the Amalgam neither. And I couldn't understand it, and I was raging about it. I was like, why give us this when we can't bloody use the damn thing? Then I went back and read the notes. Ops 31 will be able to... The Amalgam refinery will be visible to those Ops 31 and above. Will be visible. There's your answer. You can see it. You can have a look through it. But you're not allowed to use it. So what was the bloody point giving us it? If we can't use it, what's the point? But that's Scopely for you. Nothing ever makes sense with Scopely. So they gave us this, and yeah. What was the point? So that was a sore point for me. Another sore point for me. The Parabellum. Yes, the Parabellum. We only got one this month. Why? I did put the message to Rev Juice during one of his live streams on YouTube, and he did actually message the dev team, and they did message him back later in the stream. Because of the increased payout in materials, it didn't necessitate more than one Parabellum. To me, yes it does. So, yeah, I could have done with the Platinum from those last two, from the missing two. But as it is, they didn't give us it. Could you have done with that Platinum? I know I really could have done, because as much as they gave us the increase in resources and materials, they didn't give us an increase in speed ups, did they? And I used that Platinum to pay for my speed ups in research and station buildings. So that's 71,000 or just under. That could be close to 100,000 by now. In fact, to be honest, it's 17,500 each. Yeah, that could be over 100,000. But to be perfectly honest, I could be at 78,000, but because I've used some for doing some research and getting it cleared out. But to me, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I'll show you. Just as an example, and most of you who are experienced and know this, right? We're going to take this one here, the full impulse research, right? As you can see on that top line, get and use 300 Platinum, and that gives me 1 day speed up. Now I've got 16 days there in 12 hours. So if I take this up to 16, 4,800 Platinum that's going to cost me. But that saved me using a load of speed ups. I mean, let's take these 12 hours here. 32 of these would be my straight 16 days. I've still got to find 12 hours, but I can find that with an 8 hour. Oh, hello. My phone's starting to fall now. I think it's had enough. I mean, let's have a look at the time. Oh, 32 minutes. Oh, shoot. So, it looks like we better start wrapping this up, aren't we? So, yeah, so the figures are clearly there, what you can see. I mean, yeah, okay. So, the 8 hours have gone a little bit over top, but 4,800, and that's for 16 days, and that's just for this one piece of research. So that 17,500 really could have helped me. Sorry, that extra 35,000 Platinum from the missing 2 Parabellum events this month really could have helped me. But I'm not the one who makes the decisions. Unfortunately, that is the dev team at Scopely who designed the arcs. Hopefully we'll get more next month, but let me know what you think. So, with that being said, what do I grade this month? Well, let's go into space so you can see the grade a little bit better. If the game will ever catch up with me. I've noticed this quite a lot at the minute as well, this lag. So, and we'll get rid of the usual suspects out of it. So, I'm going to class this as B. It's been a very good arc. There have been a couple of sore points, like the Parabellum, the introduction of the amalgam refinery, which you can't use. You can look at it, but you can't use it, remember that. So, yeah. It's not been a too bad arc. And, yeah. So let me know what you think. Next up, obviously, starting tomorrow at 1600 hours UTC, is we're going to be having the mid-arc interval. Now, I don't know how long this is going to be. I suspect, don't quote me on this one, because I'm not saying it's definite. I think it might be the 2-week break. Yes, I think this is the extended interlude. I could be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm really hoping I'm wrong. But given the fact that we're finishing on the 25th of the month, it means the next part 2 would actually start on Tuesday, the 3rd of May. Yeah. Would it want to start that early? Last time we got this early in a month was back in December, and they actually held it off a week. So instead of the 2nd of December, it was the 9th of December when it started. So I've got a funny feeling it's going to do the same again this month. So instead of it being the 3rd, it'll probably be the 10th of May. But I do not have a crystal ball. I do not work for Scopely, so therefore I do not know when it's going to happen. All I know is part 2 is coming up. What are we going to get? Well, I suspect we're going to get the next 2 lower decks at least. So that's Rutherford and Tendy. Could be wrong. They might actually go to the top first and get Freeman and Ransom in. But who knows? But we'll find out, won't we? I don't expect there to be another ship. I would like to see Riker come into it and see what kind of things they put for Riker. But we shall see. But anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So until the next video, this is Admiral Pegasus saying stay safe, and let's mix it up a little bit. Peace and long life. Good night.